Hey everyone, here live for week 14. Let people hop on. Feel free to send some start sit questions. I want to shout out our sick picks guarantee at sickscore.com. If you're better and you're looking for some picks for this week, head to the website. If we don't have a winning week, your money back guaranteed. Pretty good deal. Check out what we're our hot streak. Our guaranteed picks are what, 4-1 now? I think so. Yeah, 5-star guaranteed picks are 4-1. Got another one this week. Might be 5-1. We'll check on that. Let me run through some actives and actives as well. People hop on. Again, feel free to send start sit questions. Trevor Lawrence active, not a high ankle sprain, although everyone's taken Doug Peterson's words and run with it. By video, he did get cleated high. Maybe that's where it got lost in translation. Sure, it was painful when he got cleated high, but the ankle turn was a low lateral inversion by our panel of doctors. Review video on that. So Trevor Lawrence, expecting him to be somewhat effective. I mean, not as mobile as usual. He does still have that left knee brace, but we're not too concerned about that left knee. More of a precaution. Quarterback lead leg brace is not a new thing in the NFL. So, but I don't know. I haven't seen any rushing yards props for him. I think it's going to be difficult for him to be effective, especially without the left tackle. They're on left tackle 3. Probably going to move Ben Barch out there for Walker Little.
Is what I've seen. On the Niners now.
Ben Barch? Oh,
yes.
who are they moving out there?
Cleveland.
Ezra Cleveland is who they're going to move outside. So interesting to see interesting matchup against Myles Garrett. He hasn't been as effective with his biceps injury, kind of shoulder biceps, but hasn't been able to use one of his arms recently. Hasn't been as dominant on the stat sheet. We'll see if that changes this week going against the third string left tackle. Cam Robinson out. Walker Little pulled a hamstring last week, so not going to be as ready to go as usual. On the other side, the Browns, DeJuan Jones tweaked knee in practice, so it might be a dominant game for both pass rushes. Chris Olave is active, was under the weather, but he's going to play through. Not expecting any downgrade for him. He can get an IV to be if dehydration becomes an issue. Derek Carr is active. I really want a Jameis game, but Derek Carr hit some Alvin Kamara props. Captain Checkdown is going to find him. Rushing, receiving is probably the move there for Alvin Kamara. They're going to ride him, especially with Michael Thomas out, Rashid Shaheed still out, all that stuff. Breece Hall is active. We went through the game film. His ankle didn't look too bad. Practiced somewhat this week, so he's going to play through. Amari Cooper cleared concussion protocol, still dealing with the ribs, but not too big of a deal. He can play through effectively. Travis Etienne, same thing with the ribs, can play through. Noah Brown active, Tyler Boyd active, AJ Terrell and Cam Jordan also active. No Taysom Hill, no Rashid Shaheed, no Tyler Higbee. That's pretty much the main offensive ones. Let's see. Feel free to send some start sit questions. Looking at YouTube and TikTok. Got one on TikTok. Swift, CEH, McKinnon, or Keaton. The Pacheco injury is kind of interesting. I don't know that they have a lot behind them that's useful. You're probably picking between, CEH and McKinnon leave a lot to be desired. Go DeAndre Swift. Just trust DeAndre Swift this week. I know the Cowboys' rushing attack's tough. I could see the case being made for Keaton Mitchell. He's just been involved lately, but I don't know how involved he's going to be this week against the Rams. You'd think that he'd get his normal touches 8 to 9, but Swift is going to get a lot more action, even though it's against a tough Dallas front. I wouldn't try to guess the Chiefs running back this week. Mostert, Achane.
McKinnon.
Achane. If you're going to pick one, McKinnon. Taylor's chiming in for over there. It's not CEH. Everybody was off him fantasy-wise for a couple of years now, so it's McKinnon if anybody. He's getting the receiving work, probably the red zone action as well. Mostert, Achane, that's a good toss-up. Probably Achane. I think he's fully back this week. I don't think they really trusted his knee last week, although he was active. Not as much of a bell cow as Mostert. He's going to get his usual carries between tackle, but remember, Mostert has those chronic knee issues, and this is kind of the time of year that he isn't as effective on a yards per carry basis. So that's why they have Achane. That's why they have Salvon Ahmed. That's why they have Jeff Wilson. They put a lot of money into that because they know Mostert's knees aren't going to hold up throughout the whole season. Looking on YouTube, pick 4 wide receivers start: DJ Moore, Garrett Wilson, Rice, Olave, Flowers, JSN. That's a deep deep team, probably like 10 team. DJ Moore this week going against Detroit. I like that. Detroit's secondary hasn't shown ability to hold too many people. So I think DJ Moore is the move. Also go with Rashee Rice going against Buffalo. I think Rashee Rice finds the end zone week after week. Garrett Wilson probably going to sit him against Houston. Olave, trust him. He's just under the weather. And then it's down to Flowers or JSN. I don't know that we know it's Geno Smith starting at quarterback. He's got that groin. The way Pete Carroll's talked about it's kind of hedging himself for maybe a Drew Lock game. So just trust Zay Flowers. I don't know if you rolled the dice with JSN. That is an afternoon game, so you'd have to wait and see the Geno Smith news. So that's tough to do. Just Drew Lock throwing a JSN is not the desired outcome you guys want. So trust Zay Flowers. Let's see. Going back to YouTube or going back to TikTok. Evans, Debo, or Puka. That's some good options. Mike Evans has not slowed down at all. They are going against Atlanta. AJ Terrell is active, cleared concussion protocol, but I think Mike Evans has another game. Puka is splitting with Cooper Kupp. Debo splitting with Ayuk. I don't know that game's going to be too competitive. Maybe that's just me being biased for my Niners, but Debo went off last week. Still only had like 6 touches. He just did everything with those 6 touches. Ayuk still the main receiving option in that game. Start 3, Mixon, Henry, Kyren, or Eckler. Do not start Eckler. I know it sounds like you have some pretty good options besides Eckler. They already said they're going to do a split between Isaiah Spiller and Josh Kelly behind Eckler and ride the hot hand. That shows you what kind of confidence they have in Eckler right now. I know you can keep wishing for an Eckler bounce back, but Denver's been pretty tough on the run. He's not going to get his usual receiving work if they're going to split with Spiller. Maybe that's all talk. Maybe that's misdirection. But from what we've seen with Eckler, it seems like he's lost a step, especially on the breakaway runs and stuff like that. And you want him for touchdowns. That's been his appeal the past couple of years. If he's going to be in a split, that's not too enticing. I got time for a couple more. Derrick Henry or Puka at flex. Derrick Henry had a great game last week. I don't know that it's going to be the same against Miami. They got a pretty stout defensive front. Puka going against the Ravens. Marlon Humphrey is back from his calf issue. But I think Puka's the move. He went out with the right shoulder AC joint, but we're not expecting any downgrade. He can take a pain-numbing injection to play through, and he was effective last week with it. I think you trust Puka. Kupp or Ridley, full PPR. Trevor Lawrence is playing, but we're not the highest on him. Ridley had a down week last week. I think you trust Cooper Kupp going against the Ravens. Probably plenty of passing opportunities in that game, especially if they get down early. Matt Stafford is cooking too this year. Any more questions on TikTok? Got to hop off. We got to catch up on the rest of our stuff here. But thanks for joining. Head to SIGScore.com for all the latest on your fantasy, DFS, betting, all that good stuff. Good luck, everyone, this week.